You know, there's always this point in life when you realize that you will never be as talented as some other people around. And the real life Peter Griffin, the Peter Griffin impersonator, I saw a video about him and I know that he is so far up above my level that I will never actually be able to even come close, to even touch the little tip of his toe, of his small toe. He's just so far above me on the pedestal of fame and greatness that it's a position I can only aspire to. I can only dream of, but I will never achieve or even come close to myself. Hi, hello, and welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome back to another unedited Soulstone Survivors video. Probably like episode 12 or 11 probably. I wanted to actually record this 2 days ago, but life takes some crazy turns sometimes, as we all know. Pardon me. We are just gonna be completing the final new map, which is the 5th map in general, in taking all things into consideration, with the 2nd level of curses. In the meantime, we are playing with the houndmaster again, because this game, and this should get you hyped up a little bit, will be, or this run, will be the one that I need to actually get him to prestige level 30, which is gonna be awesome. We're gonna go for a blasting build. Taking everything that has blast in the name, potentially mixing some bombs in there, but I feel like we just did a bomb build as well. So I do still have the purity rune. Active, so maybe pay a little attention to that, but I'm not gonna pay too much attention to that at all. But yeah, I wanted to record it a couple of days ago. Why did it not happen? Life took crazy turns, and my computer just shit a bit for a while as well. It was 2 days ago now, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. It was in the evening, and I thought, like, hey, you know, I'm gonna end off this little day. That's not a blast. That's not a blast. That's not a blast. It's not a blast. Not a blast. Also not a blast. That's a blast. I'm gonna end off my day with a nice little recording session for Soulstone Survivors, potentially even another game, who knows. I just wanted to record. I felt like my vocal cords were up to the task, the brain juices were flowing nicely, my ventricles in my brain were pumped up with what's it again? It's something that includes both the brain and the spinal cord fluid in the name, either way. Then my computer just shit a bit. It was not the hardware side of things. My computer, my motherboard, my graphics card, my CPU, all of those things were still completely fine. I don't see any blasts in here. Don't see any blasts in here. Don't see any blasts in here. Are there still even more blasts? I don't know. For now, I guess we can go suction bomb, but nah, I'm not that fond of it. Well, I'm not that fond of it in this build. It wasn't a hardware problem, it was Windows. For some reason, even though I had used my computer earlier that day already, but for some reason, it just didn't work anymore. One of the files got corrupted or something, I think, and it was not something I was looking forward to, not something I was expecting that evening. I had quite a stressful day. I don't see any blasts. I guess for now, weakening grenade is going to be fine, although it's going to diminish the effectivity of our purity rune. I wanted to end off that chill day because I was a bit stressed. I knew that the day afterwards, which was Wednesday, yesterday, I'm sorry if the timeline is confusing a little bit, I had to get into a workshop at a school. I had to be there at 8 in the morning already, so I had to get up quite early. The workshop lasted 3 hours, so I had to be a bit prepared. I had to have a clear mind. And then I wanted to just wind down and calm down at the end of the day a little bit. And the computer told me, no, hell no. Blast. Napalm blast. Yes, please. How did I fix it in the end? First of all, a lot of troubleshooting on that same evening. I spent like half an hour back then trying to fix the problem by just resetting the computer, trying to put it on in safe mode, which didn't work either. Oh, I shouldn't have picked that. I wish I could rewind, but that's going to diminish the effectivity of my purity rune even more. And then the day afterwards, after the workshop, which I will get into in a minute, I just restarted it a bunch of times again, tried safe mode again, but still didn't work. And then after a while, it seems like my computer was just like, hey, you know, fam, I realized that it seems like you're in some trouble. I'll repair the C drive for you. The solid state disk that actually contained all my Windows files. My computer itself was like, you know, I'll look into it, I'll repair it, I'll make sure everything's in order again. And then with a tiny little heart that was shivering inside my thoracic cavity, I was very pleased to see the Windows login screen pop up again. So all in all, it ended off beautifully, but it was a stressful period. about that, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be recording again right now. Ooh, nice. We got some nice multicast potential in this run already. And everything seems to be going a-okay. That workshop though, that workshop was truly a blast. It was a lot of fun. It was with my job where I'm working as a volunteer right now as a clinical psychologist, and the workshop was took place in a high school, in the 5th year of high school. For everybody not in Belgium, that might sound a bit confusing. I know that Americans, blast. I want to make sure that I have another blast. I'm sorry, Weakening Grenade. I know that we took a bunch of upgrades for you already, but I want to go with a blasting build. 5th year of high school. I know that a lot of other countries work with grades and senior year and what's the other one? Senior year, freshman year, things like that. But no, here we just work with 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, things like that. And we also work with grades, but that's a story for another video. Either way, the workshop went well. The general theme was everything to do with mental health, really, but also just like allowing yourself to be yourself and being allowed to be yourself by others as well. What makes the environment safe enough for you to be yourself and for you to try to express yourself in ways that are really, really resemblant of what type of person you want to actually be in the world and how you see yourself as a person in the world. And also just mental health in general. There was a bit of bullying, or a part about bullying in there as well. We didn't bully the kids, if that's what you're wondering, of course. There was a bit about healthy communication and conflict avoidant communication, which involves 4 easy steps. First of all, you need to have a very neutral and objective, factual representation of the situation, of what happened. An example is, hey, I noticed that you are not subscribed to my videos even though you watch all of them. That's just an example. That's the factual information about what happens. Then, a feeling. How does that factual situation make you feel? And this is where the subjective part comes in, of course. You know, that makes me feel quite sad, quite disappointed. It makes me feel like I'm doing all of this for nothing because, well, sure, I appreciate your views, but why are you not subscribed? It's just one single click and you can always undo it, right? That's the feeling that I have about the situation. Then the need, because a feeling most of the time stems from an unfulfilled need. For me, that's the feeling of connection, the feeling of recognition, the feeling of praise and of appreciation. That's definitely, or well, the need of all those things. It's hard to keep them apart sometimes. Those are the needs that have been unfulfilled for me in that scenario. And then a very straightforward, clear, achievable, realistic verzoek. What is verzoek in English? Request, I guess, yeah. And that is hit that subscribe button. That's you know, and that's a very conflict avoiding, but in a positive way, because avoiding conflicts could also be interpreted in a negative way, but no, in a positive way, avoiding conflicts, way of communicating, a way that doesn't make it evolve into just like this pile on of no, it's your fault and you did this and you did this and you did this, instead of the way I just proposed, which is way more focused on your own part in the interaction also. And it's a nice and safe way to approach discussions, or well, maybe to get rid of discussions before the discussions even have to happen. That was a part of it, and then also a part of being strong, a part of helping and an unhelping thought, something we have gotten into in a bunch of the past videos because it's something that has really been interesting me lately, so it's a topic that will come back again and again. It's kind of the main gist of cognitive behavioral therapy as well. Like, you have thoughts that help you, thoughts that don't help you. They influence how you feel and act in the world as well. And that is something that we also spent some time on in that workshop, with some examples like, hey, for example, right here, I am giving a workshop for a class. It's one of the first times I can have the thoughts like, hey, I can do this. They're going to listen to me. It's going to go well. We prepared excellently and everything is going to be beautiful. It's gonna just run smoothly. Every exercise is gonna be completed perfectly by all the students right here, and we're gonna have a blast together. And if I think that, I'm gonna feel confident as well, and I'm gonna protrude my chest a little bit forward, which makes you see the little blanket that I have right here because it's called as dicks in Belgium. I'm gonna put my chin up, I'm gonna speak more loudly and clearly, articulate in a pure manner, and all in all, it's gonna be a more enjoyable experience for everyone involved. But if on the other hand I think like, oh, I don't have any experience with these workshops, I don't have any experience with kids of this age, are they gonna listen to me, are they gonna respect me, are they gonna appreciate the exercises, or do they think it's too childish? And that will make me shrink down a little bit, you know, keep my head down, keep my voice down a little bit, because I'm insecure. I feel insecure, I think that I'm insecure, I act insecure. And that's something we try to give to the kids as well. So it's been part of psychological education we try to give them as well. And it seemed to strike a nerve for some of them. They really appreciated that. We also had an exercise where they had to hold up a rock and they had to say either I'm strong or I'm weak, which is kind of externalizing the thought to make sure that it really is what you are thinking of at that moment. What you say is sometimes what you think, not always, either way. And then the other person had to stand behind them and try to pull that arm down that was holding up the rock. And when people were saying, I'm strong, what the exercise is supposed to do is make you actually feel stronger and act stronger, so it's harder for the other person to drag that rock down. When you say I'm weak, however, it's the other way around. You feel weaker, your arm slumps immediately and the rock almost hits the ground. By the way, if you didn't notice something completely different for now, to finish off that thought, I'm rambling from back and forth from different positions. I'm sorry for the confusing nature of my speech. To finish off that exercise, they then painted the rock related to an experience that made them feel stronger, or something that makes them feel stronger. For example, somebody painted a nice turtle on top of a rock with a beautiful message of, you know, I see how turtles move slow through life, which kind of makes me feel appreciative of life because they also live so long. So they seem like very strong animals to me, and I feel strong whenever I look at turtles. Another person painted a nice football field, or a soccer field if you will, on a small little rock, like really handheld size, and they clearly painted a football field on it, which was really impressive. I thought, damn, this build has some damage. If we would go endless, it could go a long way. And all in all, that rock exercise seems to be very appreciated by the students. I need to read the patch notes. There's a whole new mode in here, right? But I think one of these is endless mode, probably this, and this is then Lord mode or Overlord mode, or what was it? It's something I will figure out in another edited episode of Soulstone Survivors, because by now we just set a goal. We want this video to be nice and short and related to the goal that we set of just completing this one run, and that's all we wanted to do for now. But I definitely want to check out those new game modes as well. We unlocked a new rune by now because we reached level 30 with the houndmaster, and the rune is over here, I think. Skill affinity blast. You are guaranteed to be offered only skills that contain type blast the first time you are offered active skills. Alright. Alright, beautiful. So these types of runes are really like, hey, you want to go for a blast build? Here you go, fam. You get blast abilities right from the get-go. Beautiful. Opens up a lot new possibilities as well. In the next episode, let's try and build up our pyromancer to level 30. Maybe I'll record an edited video after this if I have enough time for that, because I have to leave for work also. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.